Hi, so I'd like to make a quick video about the xargs command because it's a really unknown command and yeah, I see very few people using it. They all use for loops, which are intuitive, but you can actually build very beautiful pipelines, shell pipelines, and have a very satisfying code with xargs. So to demonstrate what it can do, I'm going to use the sec command, which just outputs a bunch of number on every line of its output. And so with the xargs command, without will do is it will take each one of those lines and will set them as arguments. So argument number 1, 2, and 3 of the command you specify after it. And you can put like any command you want. You can put a cat. In my case, to demonstrate, I will put just echo. And as you can see, it has built the command echo 1, 2, 3, 5 and has executed it. And that would be quite useful. For example, let's say I want to do ls, something that is not sensitive. Let's see. Voids, why not? I want to list that file. No, I want to like go git voids, and then I have a list of files and directory here. I do ls1 to get them on each line, and then I pipe that to xargs and let's say head, and I want the 10 lines of every file. Let's say 5. And of course there is an executable, GIF in there. But if you go up, you can see it has like printed the first 5 lines of README, cargo toml, and cargo log, and so on and so on. And so, yeah, this is quite useful. And like one of the most, I said earlier that it can easily replace the for shell built-in, and this is done with the n argument, where if you put n1, for example, it's gonna take at most one line at a time. So it's gonna build 5 echo commands, and each of those is gonna take only one line of the input. And you could do 2, so it's gonna take 2 lines by 2 lines. But I've used this very rarely. Usually you use n1. Another argument which is going to be quite useful, especially in this introduction, is t. T is for verbose, which means it's going to print the command it constructed before executing it. So you can see it's going to print the command and then its output, and so on and so on. Very similar to the n option is the I option, and here after the I you can put like anything you want. And here I already done that. So here I create a shell, and then it's gonna search and replace foo and replace it by the content of each line, and execute that command. So here you can see it constructed all the commands I wanted, and every time it prints the output. Next one, which is sometimes useful if you have a command that takes a bit of time to execute, is to simulate that, let's say I want to sleep 1 in that. So here it would just execute them one by one, which is slow, but you can do the dash uppercase p, and let's say 5, and it will run them in parallel, and you can see it ran them all in, it took 1 second. So if you have like IO operations, it can be quite useful, like scraping a website or stuff like that. It can be pretty fast that way. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to show with xargs. The most, those are the arguments I use not daily, but like every time I write a shell script, I use xargs almost. There is a few more arguments like a to give it a file, Don't know why you want to do this instead of giving it as a standard input. There is the interactive option, which will prompt you like yes or no. Do you want to execute this? Which can be useful. But the rest of them, I've never used them. Maybe they are useful. Lastly, I can maybe show an example of what I've done with Xargs in the past. So here is an example where I wanted to convert my YouTube subscription in an RSS format. It doesn't matter what it is, but you can access your subscription from an external application that way, which is nice. And how I did that is I scraped my my channels page, which is a page that repertorates all the channels you're subscribed to, and I've generated a channels URL file where each line of the file is one subscription when you link to that subscription. And then here I use Xargs to do a bunch of curls so that I curl every single channel page and I extract the title from it because in the end my RSS reader wanted something in the format of channel URL. RSS feed, channel URL, whatever, a URL, and then the channel's title. And and with Xargs, I could do that all automatically and all without a for loop, which is extremely important. Look at this. Look, there is only pipes. There is no indentation. It's all pretty. It's all clean and satisfying. And yeah, that's it. See you. Don't use for loops.